This is Lucas Fink, top skimboarder in the world. First ever sponsored skimboarder by Red Bull, riding 100-foot waves, breaking records. And we got him in our movie. Yo,
What up?
You driving, dude?
He is driving.
Yeah, I'm in Portugal. Nice to meet you guys.
Good to meet you, man. What time is it there?
It's 6:30.
Oh, wow, it's getting dark early.
Yeah. The summertime.
If you haven't guessed at this point, this was our biggest feat yet for putting this film together, getting this pro skimboarder in the film. You know, making a sports movie is very tricky if you don't do the sport justice. So we wanted to bring the best riders in this underground sport that we haven't seen in the film space so that we could make it authentic and make it real. And this guy was the key to the rest of the community getting on board. Lucas, as you can see from this footage I've grabbed on the internet, has been doing this his whole life. He's had documentaries made about him. He's a world champion of multiple years in a row. He's become sponsored by the top skimboarding companies in the world. As well, he's sponsored by Red Bull. At the moment, only skimboarder sponsored by Red Bull. Now, while this is on the topic of getting Lucas in our movie, this is also a look into the movie, what it is. Lucas was a dynamic and vital part to this, which is why I wanted to do a mini documentary on this path to getting him. But what this really is a drama, and Lucas talked about this script with us for a while and what he thought about the idea of making a narrative film for the screen, which is not just about skimboarding but incorporates it into a real story. So what would you want to see highlighted in a film about skimboarding or with the sport involved? Like, what is, in your mind, what would do the sport justice in the film?
And this is a narrative piece, so this ain't a documentary, it's an actual feature film, like an hour and 2-hour film.
I live skimboarding every day and I'm passionate about it, so I would like to say it. And I really like videos as well. I work based on videos a lot, and I produce content since I was very young. And I would like to see something for skimboarding that really represented and made my eye shine and get emotional as I get on a daily basis. Why I love the sport, you know?
Yeah. Now, based off of what Lucas said about that, getting emotional, how skimboarding affects him, I knew this story was perfect to bring him in. All right. There you go. This story is exactly about someone chasing their dreams, someone fighting for a better life, and it's through the sport of skimboarding. And Lucas and his energy and his journey has been exactly that.
As I said, it was very natural for me, trying to find the progression and get better at it. And then the competitions are a way for you to kind of measure it, oh, am I really progressing, if I'm winning contests, if I'm making heats. I always had the competitive side on me, that's for sure. I got into skimboarding more seriously when I was 10. The first thing I did was found out there was a competition in Rio where I lived, and then I started practicing for it. So yeah, I always loved the competitive side, but of course at first I was doing just the amateur divisions. And within time, I was progressing a lot. I was gaining a lot of reputation on the skimboarding community, not only in Brazil but worldwide as well. And my dad would always also push me, because in Brazil the contests have an open division, which is kind of like the pros, and then they have the age divisions for amateurs. And then my dad would always sign me up for the contest on both divisions, both the open and the amateurs. So since young, I was also getting into that more professional environment for skimboarding. I think the turning point was when I was invited for the World Championships, at the Amateur World Championships of Skimboarding that goes down in Dewey Beach, Delaware. They invited me to join, since I was like the biggest up-and-comer skimboarding from South America. And they brought me to that contest and I won it.
And taking first place all the way from Brazil, Lucas Fink!
And then I went back next year with my family to kind of defend my title. And then I won it again. And then by the time I was already just doing pro contests in Brazil. So I was like, yeah, I think it's time to go pro like worldwide. And in 2015 I did a couple contests. There's a skimboarding world tour, we call it the United Skim Tour. And yeah, I joined them at first in 2015. I was like on my last year of high school, so I was like kind of graduating and like figuring out what test would I took for which colleges. So it was kind of like a rough time, but in my mind I was like all focused into skimming. And that's when Red Bull came to me also and started sponsoring me and just gave me more hype to keep chasing this dream, you know. Because yeah, as I said, when I was 10 and I fell in love with skimboarding, I was like, dude, that's what I want to do for my life. And even though it wasn't like a reality at some point, like we didn't have like pro skimmers that were making a living out of it, especially in Brazil. So yeah, many people were like, dude, that's not gonna work. And even though it was a dream that seemed like impossible, I decided to make this dream like become a real project where I could work on my daily basis. And yeah, here I am. It's starting to pay off.
And that's exactly what this movie is about: chasing your dreams, fighting for a better future, fighting for a better life. And I can't wait for you guys to see more of this movie. Please check out our Indiegogo and see the perks we have. I would love for you guys to partner and help us finish this film. Lucas, you have been an amazing inspiration for me as a filmmaker, and you have inspired me to do better. And just everyone that has been involved in this film, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini documentary, and I'll see you soon.